Happy Pride Month, everyone. I have to kick this off as a fellow bisexual woman because I think it's very important to just say this as well. Homophobes, people who are transphobic, you get the vibe. Get out. You're not welcome here. Pride Month is, of course, a very important time where you are celebrating your pride. You are educating yourself and learning more about the history. But also, this is about those who have lost a lot when it comes to being true to themselves. Going through your journey with whatever that looks like for you. You've lost family members. Like, hey, there's some family members I don't talk to anymore because they know I'm bisexual, right? Everybody's journey is different, but there's also pain involved with that. And I just want to say that. And I'm so sorry for whatever you have gone through, but just know you are very loved. And even with how the world can look very, very dark and scary, I just want you to know that there are so many amazing human beings that love you dearly and support you and are very, very proud of you. So have fun this month. Enjoy, baby. I know I will. But anyways, let's kick into today's video. Hi, everyone. It's Isabella here, and welcome back to the channel. And I just want to say, let's talk about a very interesting topic this Friday. So originally, I had a different topic scheduled, but this one popped across my radar, and I said, all right, we got to sit down and talk. We're going to be discussing a coffee shop with an alleged scam, an issue with a customer. Some of you guys may know the situation, some of you may not. I want to give a little dive into this, and also I want to break down how I think this could have been handled better and what I think the business should do moving forward. Now, you guys know on this channel, I'll talk about a wide variety of things like trends, scams, crazy stuff, but there's usually a little pattern that we see with some of this content where a business owner will do something, or like a business will do something, a customer or an individual will talk about it, and then it kind of blows up into something that it shouldn't be. So that's what we're highlighting is an alleged scam, what I think about it, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more. So real quickly, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell button down below so you will be notified of every single video I post. And real quickly, I do want to take a moment to thank the sponsor of today's video. As we know, summer is coming around, and the Kansas City summer has been literally no joke. And the last thing I personally want to think about is dragging a razor underneath my underarms, because that's just my personal vibe and preference. And you guys know I have talked about being a lover of IPL devices, and I specifically want to talk about an upgrade that I made that has been it's been so good. This is my Ulike Air 10. So the Air 10 is an at-home IPL device. It uses light pulses to target hair follicles. So over time, it actually reduces your hair growth. It's FDA cleared. It works on arms, legs, bikini, face, and I use it everywhere. And my underarm hair used to be darker, more coarse. I have genuinely noticed a major difference when it comes to my underarms. I want to show you a visual right here. I full on let everything grow out a little bit for you guys, like purposely neglected my treatments to show you all how incredibly light and soft my hair is, and the maintenance is so simple. It's softer, and actually a lot of it is gone. So Ulike claims up to 96% of people have hair reduction in about 2 weeks, and of course I was interested in how this device specifically was going to work for me. I started seeing real shedding and changes by week 3, and now I'm just on maintenance mode. And the thing that really sold me on this device was the sapphire cooling setting, because one thing about me, I don't like things that are painful. I don't. The top of the device actually stays cold, so it's not just uncomfortable doing your entire treatment. You don't feel any like burning sensations. Maybe like a little bit warm, but I don't notice any pain, and I've used it in many sensitive areas. So with the cooling system, dual lights, and you could do a full body treatment in 10 minutes, like this thing is amazing. Oh, by the way, it has a built-in skin sensor, so it adjusts according to your skin tone, so you're not just guessing what treatment you need. And a very, very important aspect about this is money back guaranteed. Another part of this device is when you're investing in something, you want to know that it actually works. It comes with a 100-day money back guarantee and a 2-year warranty. So if you try it and absolutely hate it, you can get your full refund back. And if anything goes wrong with the device in the first 2 years, you're completely covered. I adore this thing. This has been a really great addition for my entire routine, and I highly recommend it. You guys can go to the link in the description below or pinned comment and check out the Ulike Air 10 today. Thank you so much to Ulike for partnering with me on today's video, and now let's get into it. Okay, so kind of get this kicked off all the way. We're going to have a little bit of reacting to do with this topic. So there is a business that is known as the Prickly Pear. Prickly Pear Co. is located in Tennessee. Nashville, I believe, is what I heard. Actually, my manager texted me. She's a girl. That's like not too far from me. And I was like, really? No, small world, right? Anyways, this is a coffee shop that is known for a wide variety of drinks. So you know how like Starbucks, for example, has like refreshers, all this other stuff. Similarly to that, that's kind of what you get with this other like smaller business, which is great, right? And when it comes to developing in a business, you like to have standout, unique things that are going to help you in this market, because there's a lot of coffee shops. What makes yours different, right? Interesting idea that I love, an idea that was called a split cup. So this video right here, it's a starting tomorrow, all 4 shops, split cups and buckets. So it's split 2 entirely different drinks, the basis of what the problem is with this entire video. So I don't know, man, when I see a split cup idea, to me as a woman who has 2 to 3 different beverages when I'm working, water, coffee, maybe I throw in something else in there, I understand understand the interest of a split cup. So that is where we get involved with a individual by the name of Katie. Now, Katie is the one that actually called out Prickly Pear Co. and made a video discussing her issue with the entire situation. So this got 3.6 million views, by the way, which is like, that is bonkers. So let's react and let's get into this controversy.
If you live in Nashville and you know what Prickly Pear coffee is, I'm going to do a little experiment real quick just so you can be pissed off with me, okay? I have these thing called split cups, okay? I usually get a refresher from them. It's like give or take $5 or $6 for a refresher. The split cup is supposed to be 2 full drinks. She goes to ring it up. It's so you could try 2 different flavors. She goes to ring it up and it's like $12 and some change. And I go, wait, is that for 1 drink? And she's like, yeah, because it's 2 drinks. And I was like, oh, it's 2 full drinks. And she was like, yeah. I was like, okay, I'll try it because like I'm making a video anyway. I was like, whatever, I'll try it. I was like, I'm going to do something when I get home after I drink them. I'm going to put it in a venti Starbucks cup because this is what I usually get, like my refreshers. This cup is $6. If I get a venti refresher, it's usually about $6 and some odd change, right? This was $12. This is not full all the way with water because there's no ice in this. They put ice in it when they give you a refresher. Venti Starbucks cup, $6 and some change when I get a refresher. Look at this. Add ice to that. That's just as much as you get in a split cup thing for half of the price. I'm never going to Prickly Pear again. I'm so irritated about it. This doesn't matter. Like there's people dying. I understand. I'm just saying. So that you have the knowledge that I have, maybe don't get the split cup things from Prickly Pear. Anyway, now you can see the video that I was like planning on posting and being like, oh, I love these. They're so cute. There's this place called Prickly Pear Coffee that has a split cup coffee cup. So essentially if you want 2 drinks and they don't go together, you can get them split. Like you can get 1 of each drink. I'm going to do that right now because they have refreshers and I want to try 2 flavors. But you can do it with coffee and like try tea, whatever. She said it was $12 because it's like 2 full drinks, but I don't know. I'm going to test that out. I'm going to actually pour them into like regular cups and see how much it is. But strawberry iced is so good. You need to put lemonade in them. Dragon fruit.
Now, my prescription in my contacts may be -4 of both eyes, but I can see that that's a very shitty ass offer. Number one, the concept of having a split cup I think is very fun and smart. However, this is falling under the category of false advertising for me. So if you're going to talk and promote a product like this where it's a split cup, visually looks like 1 drink that you're going to get somewhere. 1 normal one. I mean, girl, I can go to a gas station and get like a coffee that is like around that big and it's going to be significantly cheaper. And so yeah, it kind of begs to wonder, why would a product at $12 for the exact same size as something that you would get somewhere else? Like, yeah, why is it costing you $12? That does give the vibe that it is false advertising. Now, if the brand was to say, hey, instead of getting 1 drink on your morning coffee run, you can get 2 different kinds, but in the same size, that is transparency. But if you're adamantly running with like, you get 2 full size, that's very obvious. I get trying to be nice and give the benefit of the doubt, but that's very obviously not a 2 full size drinks right there. And I think that's probably not a good way to market off the product. Like, you got to be real. And additionally, if it's a refresher, coffees are expensive as hell. On average, I'd spend like $7, $8 on a coffee if I were to go out and buy one right now, not including tip. With that being said, if it's a refresher, what are the ingredients that's making it that expensive? That should not even be a problem in my head. So that sounds also like a pricing issue for a small business. I will say, we're getting more information as we go and react to this, but I know that there are some prices that are going to be different compared to a major corporation and a small business. So small businesses may be charging more because they have less manpower, less support. They have certain fees that they have to pay, and it's more expensive. So that could be the avenue where I could go, oh, that makes sense. But I'm still, that still does not give a lot of transparency. And like, no wonder somebody would be pissed off about that. And you got to give a hell of a reason why somebody's spending money there, truly. And this is why I also say not everyone needs to go into business, because not everyone thinks about innovation or thinks about how they can advocate for the fact that their product is good. And it may not be the most innovative, that's totally fine, but why is it good? Why should someone buy that? Why should someone give a shit and spend that kind of money? So you have to be able to market that off. And so if it's not even transparent when it comes to what you're getting, it's expensive, and you're being weird about it, like, no one's gonna like that, period. So this video, like I said, got like 3.6 million views. And then to add to it, the business saw the video, as I assume they would, and commented back, and not in a good way. So yeah.
So I'm beefing with my local coffee company, and they blocked me because I posted a video that was like, hey, I really like this drink. It's a good drink actually, but it's $12. And that's insane because it's not coffee and it has no caffeine. It's actually just what they call a refresher, which has no caffeine, and it is just juice. I I posted my video being like, hey, this is insane because I'm getting about 16 to 20 ounces of liquid for $12 and it has no caffeine in it and you don't have to make it. It's a pre-made mixture that they just pour into the cup and add either water or lemonade. And they commented this response and they said, it's $10. No, it's not, babe. It's not $10. It was $12 plus. If it was $12, you likely added different milk, extra shot, etc. Hey, did you watch the video? Because I ordered a refresher. That's not coffee. I didn't add anything. It's just juice. That is also the same amount you would get in a venti, if not less, because they would add ice. You also added ice. That's a crazy thing to say. Second of all, there were people that commented and they were like, if you went to Starbucks and you got 2 grandes, you would get, it would be $12 too. And to that, I want to say something so true, bestie. If I went to Starbucks and I got their grande, which is 16 ounces, I would pay about $12 for 2 of them. Prickly Pear's drinks are, they say in their own comments, 12 ounces. So I'm already getting less liquid. And the 2 16-ounce drinks I would get from Starbucks, they would have caffeine in them. So for the same amount, I'd be getting more drink at Starbucks with caffeine. Okay? Anyway, after they blocked me, then everybody went to their videos and they were commenting on them and they were like, this is an insane way to handle a response to a video that said your drink was good, but it's just a little bit overpriced. Blocking her is insane. Also, you could have just been like, oh my god, we're so sorry that our employee misspoke. Like, whatever, we'd love to have you back to make this right. And I might have even deleted my video. And then they unblocked me because everybody was in their comment section. They have yet to really say anything to me. They've not DM'd me or anything. And I would really probably would have just, like, that video probably wouldn't have just popped off if they just didn't respond. I don't really know, but I have a real job to do. So, Prickly Pear Coffee, I hope you have a great day. I don't think you're good.
Okay, couple issues when it comes to this response. I want to make this really clear before I really dog into the good and the bad of all this. I am a huge advocate for, I always want a redemption arc. Let me make that clear. So this is not going to be a whole video of like, fuck Prickly Pear. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm going to call a goofy action a goofy action. If you are getting into business, this is a thing I notice when it comes to people who suddenly start, is they take things personally and they don't treat the business like the business. They take it and treat it as like a part of them, like an extension of who they are. And if you're making a business account, your first response when you get controversy should not be to take it personally, and it should not be to respond how you would if you had a random person bothering you on like Facebook Live or some shit on your own personal account. Okay, like that's not how that's supposed to work. You're supposed to take a step back, reevaluate, and figure out the best way to respond. This is when you're supposed to do the whole take the higher road 90% of the time. Mind you, if a customer is being an asshole, then you know what, clap back. For example, as a waitress, I would have loved it. Oh my god, loved it if my boss would have mouthed off to anyone that was bothering me. That would have been lovely. But in this case scenario, you need to take a step back and realize how you're going to actually respond to this. And blocking the customer for giving an honest review is not okay. Additionally, I think that people need to be really careful when they do that. No matter how good your business is, some people are just simply not going to like it. And yeah, there's some people who just don't like what's going on. And you have to be okay with that. I swear I've said this before on my channel, but you can't be willing to take all the benefits of being a business owner and also not be willing to accept the fact that there are some things that are not going to go well, but how do you handle that? And blocking someone who made a review is just not valid. Someone's bothering you on your personal account, blocking them, that makes sense. But the business, I don't think that's necessary. Additionally, saying, oh, well, it is $10 and you must have added something extra. I mean, I would have immediately, instead of assuming, I would have gone to look at her order and time to see if I could find the order and what was added, what was the issue. If the person that's working at the business is not properly saying what's going on with the drink, what they're ordering, then that is a retraining problem. Then absolutely, that's what needs to be happening. No one should just be blaming the customer then and treating them weird. It should be, hey, so we did a little internal review and we realized that something is going on and the people that we've hired, apparently we didn't do a good job with making sure that they were properly vocalizing what you're getting with your money, and we're going to fix that. My bad. So then the business owner got onto the Prickly Pear actual page and made a response video.
There's a video going around talking about how we are scamming people with the price of our split cups, and I wanted to just explain on the back end about the pricing of these cups and also why I responded the way that I did. I'm reading my notes here so I can tell you the exact pricing. The first part of this is I'm not mad. Everyone has the right to their opinion. There's no hate towards the girl who made this video. I blocked her because honestly, my phone was blowing up with hate comments, and it has already been honestly like some of the hardest, like the last 6 weeks have just been brutal in business and personal. And so I I apologize if that was perceived as rude or immature. It may have been all those things. I was not in a place to be able to receive these hate comments and let it roll off my back. She has been unblocked because I am no longer on our TikTok. Someone else has taken that over. Next, and the most important part as far as the price breakdown, the split cups are 2 12-ounce drinks. So I never want to come across as lying to our customers when saying they're full-size drinks. They're 2 12-ounce drinks. In total, that is 24 ounces of whatever drink you choose. They were designed to be half matcha, half coffee. That's how we post about them. That's how we advertise them. And so what you decide to put on either side is totally up to you, but the goal and intention is that they would be half matcha, half coffee. That's what the pricing is based off of. These cups are $1.18 each, including 2 straws, so this makes it over $1 more than our large 24-ounce ice cups. The milk can range anywhere from 35 cents to 77 cents, depending on the milk choice. And because our syrups are house-made, I'm sorry, I'm struggling to get through this, it can be anywhere from 10 cents to 82 cents, depending on what you're adding. If matcha is on the other side, it is 43 cents for the matcha in that split cup. If you're going to get the exact order that was in the video of the split cups, it's $3 per side because of the lemonade, so it's $6 total. It's not as good as a deal if you are doing refreshers rather than doing the coffee and the matcha. So to talk about profit margin specifically, the profit margin for half coffee, half matcha is 40%. For the order in the video, it's 50%, which is still below average. That profit margin goes towards paying employees and keeping the lights on. I also make nothing from owning Prickly. I don't take a salary. I am just paid as able based on how the months go. So it is not like there is, this 50% markup going straight to my pocket. No, it is truly just to keep the lights on, to pay our employees fairly, and to try to exist in a market that is ever evolving. At the end of the day, everyone spends their money differently. We are thankful for any way or shape you may choose to support us, but if that is not how you are comfortable spending your money, we totally understand that as well. I appreciate your taking your time to watch this video.
To pause that first one, I would like to say that I think the biggest issue that I'm noticing right now is the fact that the attitude with the situation and kicking it off and blocking her immediately and kind of just saying, fuck it, that is where I think people have a big issue with this. I also want to acknowledge that I can only realize that there are millions of people that just watch your situation and are calling out your business. So I don't think that that's like something to just downplay. So I understand the fear and concern, reacting maybe a little bit poorly because you've never been in that position before. Not saying it's right, I just understand that. Price breakdown, I think, is a really good thing to talk about. And I think pricing to discuss why something works the way it does is, I don't think it's a bad idea necessarily. But I am understanding why people are going to feel weird about the refresher situation, because that is hard for me to rationalize as well because of the refreshers. I would then have a entirely different price point for those refreshers if that's the case, if it is significantly cheaper to make them. So the comments are pretty going in on this right now. The top comment says, if you have to explain the pricing, wrap it up. Next comment says, by your logic, Neapolitan ice cream should be triple the price because it's 3 flavors. And this is actually a really, really good point that I'd like to make up. If you were, for example, having it to where it was a split cup, similar pricing, because I used to be a barista. Fun fact, Diva, I really throw it down when it comes to making a cup of coffee. I was one of the baristas that was a part of a very new business, and I would hear conversations about price points and how that was going to go. So when it comes to making a product like this, the idea is phenomenal. I love it. I literally love that kind of idea of, oh my God, this is a seasonal drink and then I get this one too. Great, because as an iced coffee whore, I love drinking coffee all the time, okay? And it would be really fun hopping back between flavor, okay? I would enjoy that. It is a bit of an issue with pricing because to me, it still doesn't make any sense why it is that damn expensive for it. Now, if it was a larger cup, that would make sense. But if it's significantly half of the actual size that you would normally get from any other coffee shop, and if I see other coffee shops that are not charging that much, I can't rationalize why. Another thing I need to talk about when it comes to charging products, you have to really understand your target demographic. So if you want to go into a luxury business or you're wanting to sell certain items, there's nothing wrong with it being expensive. It depends on what your target market wants, right? But with coffee, that is kind of a generalized, who's going to get it, right? We've got college students, we got moms, we've got the general public that drinks and looks for caffeine. So that you usually know that they're probably not going to be willing to spend a certain amount unless you give a very good reason. So it's not like we're in the business of it's a luxury coffee shop and it's a very lovely, atmosphere. Because I'm telling you, actually, I go to a Chase Cafe in Kansas City sometimes to edit because I have a card through them, and they don't even have things that are that expensive down there too. And it's a nice ass place for me to go work. It's like a business area. It's lovely. And it still isn't even that expensive. If you want to charge a lot and you have a good reason, I understand. But if you're getting into the world of coffee, this is not a designer coffee thing. You can make it good without charging out the ass. I still disagree with the price. Unless you can really find a way to break down that you're getting such a good value for it, then people are not going to really be interested. And they're going to go to Dunkin', they're going to go to Starbucks, they're going to go to other places because they can get a really good deal. They're not going to have to go and spend that kind of money, and they can get 2 full-size drinks. So about almost a week ago, they made an additional response about the situation because I don't think it necessarily calmed down. So let's start that up.
We have reached out to Katie and apologized and refunded her drinks, and she acknowledged that and said thank you for that. I did not respond well. I got defensive, and I completely own that. I haven't been on the TikTok, but I've been hearing that there are good suggestions as well, and so we've taken those suggestions just as far as advertising goes and writing in the description like, hey, this is priced for a coffee and a matcha, and our team, as people are ordering, will probably recommend that too as well if this is priced for that. It really is just so sad to see people capitalizing on that and capitalizing on hurting a small business.
Ooh, and you lost me. Okay, I'm sorry. I have to stop this. If you're going to make an apology, you need to, as the French say, lock the fuck in. Okay, no, I'm kidding. But when you mess up or you're trying to essentially counter negative press, you probably want some positivity. This was not the time to go, but everyone else is making a benefit up. That's not what we're focusing on here. Okay. Like if you really have screwed up and you're trying to do better and show people that you mean business and you care about your customers, I think the last thing we should be doing is pointing fingers. Okay. I just don't think that that's a benefit, because also people are going to talk about this kind of stuff. And especially after your initial response, while it hurts, while it's unfortunate, you can't be surprised. That's what I'm trying to get at here. This is not the time. And this whole capitalizing off of a small business. Ugh. One thing I'm always going to say is just because you're a small business doesn't mean you're exempt from criticism. Just because you're new at this doesn't mean that people can't leave reviews or be honest with you. And I'm going to be honest, the original commenter, all she did was say, look, I don't like this. I think the pricing is insane. I feel like I was lied to. I feel like I could have gotten a better deal somewhere else. This feels like a scam. I don't recommend it. You know what? You may not like the tone, may not like how that's pretty damn straightforward. There's nothing you could do about that. All you can do is learn and grow from it, quite literally. So this whole angle of, capitalizing on hurting a small business, ooh, I wouldn't go that route personally.
On directly coming after me for my mental health, as a woman-owned business, I would expect that we would encourage each other. At the end of the day, I hate that the prices have to be what they are as well. I posted a video on this actually recently about how hard it was for me to raise prices, but that we had to if we wanted to keep the doors open. So yeah, I mean, it sucks. It just does. I understand not wanting to spend that much money. I do. And with all due respect, you don't have to spend that money. I get it. We have to pick and choose where we spend our money. I totally get it. Yeah, I don't really have much to say because I don't think what I say is going to be liked regardless. And so what I will say is it's just sad to see the way we're tearing each other down. That's kind of all I have to give.
Oh man, if only y'all could see my toes. They just curled in like a really bad way because I was like cringing from that. Okay, and I'm not trying to be a bitch. I promise you I'm not trying to be a bitch. I just don't feel like that was a good response. The caption of that video says, I'm not proud of my initial response. I have reached out directly to Katie to apologize her and refund her. Thank you to those who are offering insight and suggestions and those of you who have sent words of encouragement. One thing I also will say is I don't like unnecessary harassment of a business or someone who's I just don't think it's necessary at all. I think we can be far more productive not doing that. Again, she didn't kill somebody with her 2 cup. She did make some poor decisions in my perspective. The response was bad. And then it's like, oh, well, as a woman-owned business, then mama, here's the thing. I am a girl's girl, but if you're a bird, I'm not going to support that. That is how I believe and how I function as a woman. I am going to be a girl's girl. I am always there. But if you do some goofy shit, done. But I am girl's girl enough to call you out when you're doing something bad. So that is the difference. Just because you're a woman, that doesn't mean other women suddenly cannot criticize you and call you out for your poor business decisions. She is not wrong in the sense of, yeah, if you are not able to spend the money here, that's totally like, okay, that makes sense. And if that's how they want to stick with their pricing, that's great. I think genuinely the attitude of this all is what's turning people off. I'm sorry, but me alone, I don't necessarily feel that that's good. And it doesn't make me feel like I want to support the business because of the attitude attitude and approach on the video's responses, just flat out. That can change the game when it comes to how people handle you and what's going on here. I want to talk about how I think this business could come back and what I think they should have done and should be doing here. Number one, if you have a controversy like that, your first thing is maybe put a little quick statement of, hey, we see your guys' comments. We're hearing you. We don't want to like release a statement essentially or talk about this until we are fully prepared. Just let you know. I think that's a good way because you don't have to respond to something immediately, I don't think, but you definitely got to let people know that you're seeing the problems at hand. You cannot always rationalize your way out of pricing that just genuinely does not make any legitimate sense, because I still cannot fathom it. I have gone to way too many local coffee shops in my area even, or other cities. And I mean, shit, I was down in Los Angeles for almost 5 days and I tried a multitude of different coffee shops and I tried some creative things and they still were not that expensive. Does not make any sense to me at all. And that's why I cannot rationalize the pricing. And even with the breakdown, it still doesn't make any sense to me. So what I think you need to do is honestly look at the expenses that you have in your entire business. Because if you're sitting here thinking, oh God, I have to charge that much for a drink with less value, something's going on is what that's giving to me. So I would want to do a little bit of evaluation on expenses and what's happening. And if you can't swing that, then I wouldn't be opening up 4 different locations. I would perfect the sauce before I pass it out to the family. How I would restructure this. One, I would completely adjust the pricing. And I also would look at different tiers of it. So if you're going to sell a product like this, have it to where it's coffee or refreshers and the pricing adjusts with how you do. Just like, again, if you make any coffee, I know when I was a barista, there are different types of products and different pricing for each of them. Adjust it in that way. I would not do a blanket statement like it's just $12 all around and then it gets expensive from there. I don't think it's necessary because there's no way in fresh hell I would spend $12 on a lemonade like that. Absolutely not. There's literally no way you can commit. And also no caffeine. Capital fuck no, absolutely not. So what I would do is I would completely restructure the price. I don't think it's necessary. I think that you need to make some big changes and that would be one of them. I would go out of my way to make cute marketing campaigns. You know, with like the girl grip, you know how we all have like that because we don't have pockets that are big enough. We have like our keys, a drink, our wallet, a bunch of stuff on our hand. You could have cute little marketing campaigns around that, but how you're making 2 drinks into one. 2 drinks, 1 girl. If you know in any way what I'm trying to reference, let me know. Doing that, or the jokes about how we all like to have 1 drink, like a couple of drinks while we're working, make it adjust that way. Also, yeah, I think it's really good to go and reach out to the original person that called you out for that. I do. After a certain point though, when you keep making so many statements, like stop making statements. That's the one thing if you keep making statements and they keep landing like shit, stop it for a second. You're not doing it well and you're not listening. You're not listening with your ears. You're just listening to respond. You're not taking in what people are trying to tell you right now, which is they don't like the pricing, they're not happy with what you're doing, and they don't like your attitude. I think that if you have a business owner that is not able to handle things properly like that, they should not be the face or a part of the marketing when it comes to the company, okay? If you have someone where you cannot control yourself in that way, do not be the face and controlling the marketing on that, because then it's going to backfire and you're going to look like you're just really upset with everything. But again, at the end of the day, I do want the business to do better. And all it takes is a little restructuring, right? We see so many different companies that make different choices and then look 10 times better. I've seen way too many brands. I'm like, oh, they turned themselves around. I like them now, literally because they made different choices. So I don't think that this is an end all be all, but I think this is a good lesson to other businesses as well, is if you are getting negative feedback, you need to handle it better and you need to do some reviews about how the people that you hire are maybe talking about a product and how you're running your business. There are some brands that I never give a shit about before, but because their customer service and response was phenomenal, it genuinely made me want to buy from them because of that alone. And then I also want to say again, because there's so many people who are scared about giving reviews, there's nothing wrong with you giving a review. If you don't like something, you can say it. That is the whole purpose of reviews, because other people can go, hey, I agree, and hey, I disagree, right? You're gonna be fine. The thing is, if one review tanks a business, there wasn't a lot of strength within it to begin. All I'm gonna say is the attitude and the way that the situation was handled is gonna turn people off and make them not be interested. So I would just focus very much showing why your product has value, adjusting those prices, do a little internal review on expenses, overhead, and also how the people you are hiring are talking about the products. And at the end of the day, less is more. If you're not able to keep up with that much product, you're not able to keep up with all that, then something absolutely needs to change. But that's a business problem, not a customer review issue. That was it for today's video. I think it's a little shorter, a little sweeter, but definitely an interesting one. What do you guys think? Okay. Do you guys think that the pricing is insane? Do you think it's realistic? Do I have any baristas or coffee shop owners in the comment section? Because I would absolutely love to hear your guys' opinion. They can come back from this. Personally, I think everyone can, but it's a matter of how you handle the situation. So that was it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to check out the sponsor and the link in the description below and pin comment. Have a phenomenal weekend. Be safe. Love you so much. And I'll see y'all next week. Okay? Bye.